I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get a regular photo and turn it into a digital negative so that you can take this file, preferably in a thumb drive, or I believe you can do it online through the FedEx website. They have one on Lake Trevino, and I'm sure in other places around El Paso, whatever's closest to you. But I'm going to show you how to process it. Even if you don't have Photoshop, this program is completely 100% online. You can upload your photo real quickly, convert it, and then go ahead and save it. So I'm going to walk you through it just really quickly. This website is called Photopea or photopea.com. It is pretty much a free online Photoshop equivalent. So I'm going to show you and run through it just really quickly so that you know how to open a file, and you can kind of watch it as you need to get that digital negative for our class on September 18th. So first things first, you're going to go ahead to File and Open. Hopefully you have a photo that you want to use. I'm going to go ahead and click Open and just get a photo from one of my classes, and kind of go from there. So I've got my downloads and I'm gonna work off of I've got a lot from my graduate class, but it's hard to find some of them that you want. I'm gonna go ahead and we'll go with an old drawing of mine. So you have that. I clicked on the file that I want to open, and I'm gonna move this just really quickly, and I'm gonna click Open. So it's gonna go ahead and open this file that I have. Now it can be a drawing you did and you kind of want to do it for this kind of photograph process. It can be a digital artwork. I have a digital piece right here, and for sure it can be a photo, one that you've taken, and it will all work out great. So once you have this file open, there are just some quick, simple steps that you're going to take to this, and everything will work out. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead to this lovely part right here where it says Image. Click that, scoot on over to where it says Adjustments, and the first thing we want to do is take out all the color, because when we do these prints we don't need any color to it because it's going to process in black and white tones and gray tones. But in Cyanotype right now, what it will process really at the end of the day, I'll show you one that I've got just on me. It will process monochromatic, really, just in different kinds of shades of blue. There's light blue, dark blue, and kind of like grayed out parts. So what you need is a desaturated photo to print in black and white. It does not process any color whatsoever. So this first thing, I'm going to Image, Adjustments, and to desaturate. I don't want any color whatsoever. It'll just be a black and white image, what I have right here. Now that it's black and white, what I want to do next, this is the hardest 2 steps of your life, but it is actually pretty much done after this. So the next little deal that you have is called Invert. Right now it is considered a photo positive, meaning you can see the image exactly how you want it, and that's how it would print when it's done. But in an ideal world with cyanotype, you need a photo negative. The sun will go into these parts that are essentially black from the photo negative and kind of burn its way through the paper or the transparency that you're using onto your surface. So all of these parts right here that you see actually that once were white, actually were black in the photo negative, and that helped process it. It's a little weird, but if you're a little old school like my grandpa with his film negatives, he had those lovely little fellas, and I'll show you one that I have of a film strip. You have a photo negative, and when you shine it in the light, it looks dark for everything, so that when it's processed, it gains back the lightness, because this is going from negative to the finished project, which is a photo positive. So you're going to go ahead and click Invert, and it will come out a little scary looking. So really all the areas that you have that you need to print, so like these darker vines, I'll show you kind of like the reverse. And I did mention that you have to have it black for it to burn. Wherever it's white, I apologize. Wherever it's white or like a lighter gray tone, that's what will create kind of like a window for the sun to hit it. So you're going to go to image, adjustments, and invert. It should look like that, like a photo negative. Now, if it doesn't look like that, that is where you're going to have to make sure you do those two steps. Desaturate and get rid of all the color to it so that it's black and white or grayscale. And then the second part is inverting it so that you now have a photo negative. Okay, once you have that, if you want to kind of go back because you feel like there could be more contrast happening, sometimes good contrast images print a little bit better with this particular kind of printing. You could always go edit and undo. You could go to edit, adjustments, brightness and contrast, and I'll show you kind of a little bit of what I mean. You can up the contrast just a little bit and the brightness as well so that it packs a punch, or I kind of like that little bit of brightness just kind of taken away. Just I like the darkness in it, so I'm going to up the contrast more than I am the brightness. Once I'm happy with that, I go ahead and press OK. Now that I'm happy, I'm good, I can go back and invert it. So say you are happy with that and how it looks, the next part is we got to save the file. We need to know how to save it. And this is probably going to be the easiest and smallest file that you'll have to take to FedEx. I saved it as a bigger file type, which was this one. And it took forever for those people at FedEx to print the image because it's such a large file and it holds a lot of information. Because of the fact that we're printing it on a really, really, small surface, we're printing it on transparency, which they will do for you. At FedEx, they have these. They should be about 77 cents. I would print a couple just to have a backup and really see which one you feel like doing once we actually have that workshop. So about 77 cents, they will print it properly because certain printers can handle transparencies and printing on them and certain printers can't. So FedEx is the easy way to go because they will take care of that, or any printing place that can handle it. So you're going to want to go to File, Export As, and you want to save it as a JPEG image. So once you click JPEG, it's going to give you the options to save and all that good stuff. The quality is not a big issue to me, but if you feel like that might be something you want, you can move it over to 100. This is just the size that the file is, so you don't need to change around, and you don't need to click this one because you just need a print. You don't need this fancy word for the data that comes with it. Okay, so leave it alone. You're going to go ahead and press save, and it will save it however your computer does it. Mine saves it to my downloads folder, so I'll show you a little bit of where that is. So now I have it in my downloads. It's there saved as a photo negative. All right, now this is a file that I want to go ahead and put on a thumb drive, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to see if I can walk you through it. Is kind of showing you hopefully the transparency option that you might be able to have. I didn't do it online. It drives me nuts that I don't have that control and can talk to the people that are there. So for this particular one, I didn't order online. It just scares me because I don't know what potential thing that they can do. So really, at the end of the day, I'm sure you can go to document printing, and you have like custom projects and all of that good stuff. I would probably go to copies and custom projects, which is probably the best and closest option. You can upload it, and it's in my downloads, and get your file up on there. And I'm pretty sure it asks you what kind of paper you want to do, so that you can just do this at home and go pick it up. So it says paper. It'll give you those options. Professional color paper, specialty is where I'm pretty sure it's at. And it should be somewhere down yonder. Transparency. You can click that and it'll print it for you on transparency. I think it's a little bit more expensive on here because it does all these other little tiny fees. When I went in person, I believe it was like 77 cents per copy. So it gives you a preview, which is really good. you can get your prints and then find the place that's closest for you. But once again, I personally like getting a thumb drive, saving it to my thumb drive, taking it to them, and having a folder in my thumb drive saying, print this, so that when you walk them through it, they know to go to that folder and to print those particular files for you, so they don't have to do so much work. Once you have that, you just tell them what paper you want, and you'd want it on transparency. That's it. Hopefully this helped you guys out just a little bit in making that photo negative. Just in case you had a problem, please use this website. It is a gem. You don't have to have Photoshop, but if you have Photoshop, the steps are exactly the same, because this has the same layout and the same top bits and pieces to this as Photoshop would. So you would literally, if you went to Photoshop, go to Image, Adjustments, desaturate it first, Image, Adjustments, and then invert it. That's it. Nothing crazy. And then you just save it. So hopefully this helped you guys out. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm Miss Vega. I'm the teacher at El Dorado High School.